Okay, let's start finding the graph, or let's start graphing this f of x is equals to 2x minus 1 all over x minus 1. This is our first example. Okay, for us to be able to graph this function, we need to follow several steps or strategies. So we have 7 steps or 7 strategies in graphing this function. The first step that we need to consider is to know if there is a symmetry, or if there is a y-axis symmetry, or we have the symmetry on the origin. So for us, para mahanap natin yon, kailangan natin malaman add or even function ba ang f of x na to. So kailangan natin i-consider itong given na to. So dapat, if we are going to substitute negative x to every x of this function, dapat daw magkaroon tayo ng result na f of x para magkaroon tayo ng y-axis symmetry or symmetry. Ano po? So kapag naman yung isa, f of negative x, is yung result is negative f of x, magkakaroon tayo ng symmetry sa origin. Ano po? Okay, magkakaroon tayo ng symmetry on the origin. So etong unang ito, ang tawag natin dyan is even function, at pangalawang ito is add function. Ngayon, kapag hindi naman na-satisfy ng given na to, ang dalawang test for symmetry na to, ibig sabihin hindi siya magiging y-axis symmetry nor symmetry on the origin. So wala siya sa dalawang yan. So let's start finding this f of x kung meron ba siya sa dalawang yan. The first step is the axis of symmetry. The axis for symmetry, so number 1. So let's have negative x is equals to 2 times negative x minus 1 over negative x minus 1. So the result will be negative 2x minus 1 all over negative x minus 1. So napapansin nyo, wala siya sa dalawang ito, hindi siya nag-positive at hindi rin siya bumalik sa original equation, and also this one, hindi rin siya negative at hindi rin po siya bumalik sa original equation. So therefore, this function is neither symmetry on y-axis nor the symmetry on the origin. So wala siya. So proceed tayo sa step number 2. Our step number 2 will be finding the y-intercept. Y-intercept is by letting f of 0. We're going to use 0 to know our y-intercept. So we have f of 0 is equals to 2x minus 1 all over x minus 1 is equals to 2 times 0 minus 1 all over 0 minus 1. So our y-intercept now is equals to negative 1 over negative 1, or simply our y-intercept is equals to y is equals to 1. Next, number 3. So meron na tayong y-intercept na 1. So ibig sabihin yung ordered pair natin dyan is 0 and 1. Next, we have x-intercept. Ito yung mga zeros. Ano po? So we have intercept. So we have p of x equals to 0. Kailangan nating inlet yung p of x. So our p of x here is 2x minus 1 because the numerator is times or p of x. So sa denominator naman, we have q of x. So dito muna tayo sa p of x. So we have 2x minus 1. Equate natin yan into 0. So 2x minus 1, equate that into 0. So we have 2x is equals to positive 1, then divide both sides by 2. So we have now cancel. We have now 1/2. So our x-intercept has the ordered pair of 1/2 and 0. So erase na natin yung iba pa. And also our x-intercept number 3 is we have 1/2 and 0. Next, number 4, determine the vertical asymptote. So our vertical asymptote here is number 4. Vertical asymptote. Since marunong na tayo kumuha ng vertical asymptote, dahil kukunin lang natin yung q of x and then equate them to 0. Equate a to 0. So our q of x here is x minus 1. So x minus 1 is equals to 0, and then transpose we have 1. So our vertical asymptote is x is equals to 1. Next, number 5. We have the horizontal asymptote. So our horizontal asymptote here is y is equals to, okay, tingnan natin yung degree ng numerator and denominator. In terms of horizontal asymptote, kailangan natin kunin yung pinakamataas na degree o pinakamataas na term na may degree, or kailangan natin kunin yung highest degree on the numerator and highest degree on the denominator. So meron tayong 2x sa numerator, meron din tayong x sa denominator. At nasabi natin to na 2x at x yung mga highest degree, it is because their exponent is equals to 1. And also they are the same. So they are also equal in terms of their degree. So therefore, kapag equal yung numerator at denominator, we're just going to take the leading coefficient of that that highest degree. So we have 2 over 1, or we have 2. So our y here is equals to 2, or our horizontal asymptote is equals to 2. So now, step number 6. So before we proceed to step number 6, kailangan na natin i-plot yung mga nakuha nating ordered pairs. Ano po? Kailangan na natin i-plot yung mga y-intercept, x-intercept, vertical asymptote, and then y. So I have this one. So una nating i-plot yung y-intercept. So we have y-intercept 0 and 1. So you have y-intercept 0 and 1 here, and then we have x-intercept of 1/2 and 0. So nandito po siya. Ano po? So tingnan natin ulit. Okay, 1/2 and 0. And then next we have to plot the vertical asymptote. We have 1. The vertical asymptote of 1. So we have here
our vertical asymptote. Okay, next we have the horizontal asymptote of 2.
Okay, meron na tayong ganyan. Ano po? So, meron na tayong initial idea on how the graph, on how this function will be graph. Ano po? So, next we have step number 6. Kukuha tayo ng between and beyond. We're going to find points between and beyond the vertical asymptote and also the intercepts. Okay, kuha tayo ng mga point here, or yung mga numbers between and beyond the vertical asymptote and intercept. So kuha tayo dito ng 2, 3, and 4, and also negative 1 and negative 2. Kasi meron na tayong dalawa, so maglagay na lang tayo ng negative 1, negative 2, and also we have 2 and 3, or pwede rin naman 2 and 3. So we have 2 and 3. So yan po, nandito yan, negative 1, negative 2, kasi dito daw beyond. Then we have 2 and 3, 2 and 3 after the vertical asymptote. So now we're going to find the values of, okay, eto na yung magiging values ng x natin. So we have x here, and eto yung magiging y. So our y will be this one, ano po, this function. So our values of x is negative 1, negative 2, 2, and positive 3. Okay, we're going to use this function f of x is equals to 2x minus 1 over x minus 1 para malaman natin kung ano yung mga ordered pairs na hinahanap natin to satisfy this function. So we have, first we
We have f of negative 1 is equals to 2 times negative 1 minus 1 all over negative 1 minus 1. So we have negative 2 minus 1 all over negative 2. Then the result will be negative 3 over 2 or negative 3 over negative 2 or simply positive 1.5. So therefore 1.5. Next, f of negative 2. We have 2 times negative 2 minus 1 all over negative 2 minus 1 is equals to negative 4 minus 1 all over negative 3 is equals to negative 5 over negative 3 or 1 and 2 thirds. So we have 1 and 2 thirds. Next we have f of 2. We have 2 times 2 minus 1 all over negative positive 2. We have positive 2. Positive 2 minus 1 is equals to 4 minus 1 we have 3 over 1 or it's just simply 3. And next f of 3. We have f of 3, 2 times 3 minus 1 all over 3 minus 1. So we have f of 3 is equals to, sa numerator meron tayong 5 over 2 or simply 2.5. So now we can now graph the function. So erase na natin to.
tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging tsura ng graph. Na po, we have negative 1 and 1.5. So we have x, negative 1 and then 1.5. So we have here. And then we have negative 2 and 1 and 2 thirds. So here's. So dito natin siya matatagpuan. Ano po? So meron na tayong nakita na trace or meron na tayong trend na makikita ng curve o meron na tayong curve. So next dito naman tayo sa other side, we have 2 and 3. So we have 2 and 3, so dito daw. Next we have 3 and 2.5. So 2.5 half of this one. We have this. Okay. As we can see, we can now plot the ordered pairs. So meron na tayong dito ganyan. At dito naman, eto, connect lang natin yan. And it will approach to this asymptote. Now, ibig sabihin po niyan, the solutions were, okay, ang masasabi po natin dyan is yung solution is will going to approach this horizontal asymptote and vertical asymptote. It will not cross to that asymptote. It will just approach that asymptote. So we have the asymptote of dito meron tayong nakuhang asymptote na x is equals to 1 at ito naman horizontal asymptote natin is y is equals to 2. It will going to approach x is equals to 1 and y is equals to 2 but it will never cross that line. So this will be our solution for example number 1. Okay, let's proceed to our example number 2. So our example number 2, okay, our example number 2 is equals to, or our example number 2 is f of x is equals to 3x raised to 2 all over x raised to 2 minus 4. So the first step again is to determine if this function is an odd or an even function or kung meron siyang symmetry on the y-axis or in the origin. So tingnan natin yung number 1 natin. So lagay muna natin dito number 1. We have f of negative x is equals to 3 times negative x raised to 2 over negative x raised to 2 minus 4. Tingnan natin kung meron siyang axis of symmetry or symmetry on the origin. So we have 3x raised to 2 over, so negative x raised to 2, we have x minus x raised to 2 minus 4. So therefore we have here an axis of symmetry. So meron tayong tinatawag na symmetry dito. It is because our f of negative x is equals to positive f of x. At kung napansin nyo, etong given na to is same as to our original equation. So therefore, this function is an even function o meron siyang axis on the y-axis. So magkakaroon po siya ng ganito na itsura mamaya. Ano po, ganyan po yung magiging itsura niya. So yun yung prediction natin. So next, proceed tayo sa step number 2 at alam natin na itong function na to is an even function. So let's proceed to our example number, let's proceed to our step number 2 rather. Step number 2 natin. Step number 2 is to determine the y-intercept. So our y-intercept here is f of 0 is equals to 3 times 0 raised to 2 over x, okay, 0 na lang lagay natin dyan. So 0 raised to 2 minus 4, it will equal to 0. So ibig sabihin yung y-intercept natin is have this ordered pair of 0 and 0. Number 3, we have x-intercept. Okay, x-intercept naman, our x-intercept is by letting p of x. Our p of x here is 3x raised to 2. P of x is equals to 0. Okay, we have x raised to 2 is equals to 0. So therefore, makikita natin na 0 na siya. So ibig sabihin our x-intercept is 0 and 0. We have 0 and 0, 0 and 0. Next, we have number 4. Step number 4. We have step number 4 by knowing the horizontal and vertical asymptote. So first, number 4, we have vertical asymptote. So our vertical asymptote here is, kung napapansin natin, yung denominator niya is factorable. At pwede natin kunin yung roots niyan. Ano po? By simply equating it to 0 minus 4 is equals to 0. Meron two way to find. Pwede natin gamitin yung factoring at pwede naman natin gamitin yung transposition method. So, transposition na tayo. So, x raised to 2 plus 4 and then square root natin para makuha natin yung value ng 4. Value ng x. Ano po? So, we have cancel. So, the square root of 4 is x is equals to positive or negative 2. So therefore our vertical asymptote now is x is equals to positive 2 and negative 2. Next, we have the horizontal asymptote. Number 5, our horizontal asymptote is, okay, our horizontal asymptote will be, okay, kunin natin yung highest degree on the numerator and highest degree on the denominator. Kung napapansin natin, yung highest degree sa numerator is 3x raised to 2, at sa denominator naman, we have x raised to 2. At we have equal degree. So therefore, we have this numerator equal to the degree of the denominator, highest degree. Ano po? So meaning to say, magkakaroon tayo ng y is equals to 3x raised to 2 over x raised to 2. Syempre, cancelled out na yan. So natira na lang po is y is equals to 3 over 1 or simply 3. So meaning to say our horizontal asymptote is 3. So i-graph na natin yan. Ano po? Graph na natin para sa step number 6 natin is madali na lang. We have to graph that 1. Okay, ito na yung function natin. So i-graph na natin. Ano po? So unahin natin yung y-intercept. So our y-intercept is 0 and 0, and also our x-intercept here is 0 and 0. Next, our vertical asymptote is positive 2 and negative 2. So it will
For this 9, so again, positive 2 ulit.
Tingnan nyo mabuti. Tingnan nyo mabuti, meron tayong 3 regions here. So meaning to say, magkakaroon tayo ng a mirror to this side, and meron tayo, hindi natin alam kung ano yung magiging graph dito. Dito alam na natin na prediction natin kanina magkakaroon tayo ng reflection dito. Reflection nito at reflection nito dito sa magkabilaan. So the next thing that we need to do is to graph the horizontal asymptote. So we have horizontal asymptote of positive 3. So therefore, dito natin makikita yung, okay, kung napansin nyo, meron na tayong regions na kung saan, or meron na tayong mga boundaries or mga asymptote. So next, we have step number 6 is to get between and beyond to this horizontal, to this vertical asymptote and this intercepts. So kuha tayo ng step number 6 na tayo, kuha tayo ng between and beyond ng mga points dito sa number line or dito sa coordinates natin. So between and beyond kunin natin is, simulan natin dito, negative 4 and negative 3. Okay, negative 4 and negative 3. Meron din, okay, ang negative 2 hindi na po kasi undefined po siya dyan. So okay, meron din tayong negative 1 and then 0 hindi na kasi meron na tayong value nyan. Then we have positive 1, then 2 hindi na kasi we'll make that undefined, and then we have 3 and 4. So we have this set of points. So ito yung magiging x natin. Yan yung magiging x natin. At ito naman yung magiging y. So our negative 4, negative 3, negative 1, 1, 3, and then 4. Ito yung mga hanapin natin na value. Yan. Hanapin po natin yung mga value niyan. Okay, let's start finding the value of y if we have x is equals to negative 4. By using the original equation, we have the original equation of this one. So, unahin natin yung f of negative 4 is equals to 3 times negative 4
raised to 2 all over negative 4 raised to 2 minus 4. And it will equal to, tingnan natin, okay, sa taas meron tayong 48. Sa baba naman meron tayong 12. So therefore, the answer to this one is 4. So meaning to say meron tayo ditong 4. Next, f of negative 3. We have 3 times negative 3 raised to 2 all over negative 3 raised to 2 minus 4. So sa numerator meron tayong 27. Over sa denominator meron tayong 5. So therefore, or meron tayong 27 over 5 or 5 and 2/5. Meron tayong 5 and 2/5. Next, we have f of negative 1. F of negative 1, we have 3 times negative 1 raised to 2 over negative 1 raised to 2 minus 4. So it will equal to negative 1. So we have 3 sa numerator and negative 3 sa denominator. So we have negative 1 here.
Negative 1. So mukhang hindi nakakasya. So erase na natin po itong nasa unahan.
Okay. Let's proceed to f of 1 is equals to, next original equation natin is 3 times the quantity raised to 2, 1 raised to 2 over 1 raised to 2 minus 4. So it will equal, okay, just same as this negative 1, because if we have negative 3, we have positive 3 over negative 3, or simply negative 1. So negative 1. Next, f of 3. F of 3 natin, so since yung f of 3 natin is positive, so we have negative positive 3 raised to 2 over 3 raised to 2 minus 4. So we have, in the numerator we have 27. In the denominator we have 5. Okay, same as we operate. Okay, meron tayong parehas. Kaya nung kanina. Ano po? So we have, or 5 and 2/5. Parehas lang sa negative 3. 5 and 2 over 5. Next, we have number 4. Okay, siguro parehas lang po yan dito. Ano po? So lagyan na natin yan. 4. Parehas na yan.
Because sabi natin kanina magkakaroon tayo ng reflection. Ano po? Reflection lang. So, i-plot na natin po yung points na yan. So, meron tayo makikita mga points na or mga ordered pairs na eto. So, negative 4 and 4. So, yung negative 4 and 4, dito natin siya matatagpuan. Negative 4 and then positive 4. So, right here. Okay. Okay, nandiyan po siya. Next, we have negative 3 and 5 over 5 and 2/5. So, we have negative 3 and 5 and 2/5. So, mas mataas sa 5. So, nandito. Next, we have between. We have negative 1. So, we have negative 1 and 1. Okay, negative 1 and 1 here. And then also this one, 1, positive 1 and negative 1. So, we have here. And we have number 3. 5 and 2/5 also same as this one. And then 4 we have here also 4 and positive 4 here. So as you can see, meron na tayong matitrace. Okay, meron na tayong draw draw a graph. Ano po? Ito yung mga solution. Connect lang natin yan. And then this will be our graph. Ito naman, it will cross the origin. So papunta siya sa baba. Yung mga solutions. Ano po? Ito naman, pupunta naman dito. Okay. Papansin nyo, ito yung magiging graph ng function na to. It will just approach this asymptote, but it will never cross to that asymptote. So that is our example number 2.